Learning from others' failures can go a long way towards assisting you in achieving greatness and fortune in life. Knowing these pointers can help you live a prosperous and successful life. Do you believe millionaires waste their money or take on debt with a hefty interest rate? Keep an eye on the video to learn about the millionaire mistakes you don't want to make. Neglecting to adjust your finances. Your money account is probably one of the last things on your mind when you get married or a parent passes away. Your bottom line will suffer if you put off adding your spouse to your will, deleting your joint account after a divorce, or enrolling in your new company's 401k. Find time to sit down, review your finances, and make necessary adjustments whenever your life takes a new turn. Even when you're in the middle of a huge event, like sleep training your 6-month-old, money-savvy people understand that it's still necessary to evaluate your balance sheet. Then start saving for college in a 529 college savings plan, which will help you save thousands of dollars for the massive financial burden that will hit you in 18 years. There are many various aspects to life transitions: logistical, emotional, spiritual, familial, and yes, financial. Count the financial item and give it the same weight as the others. It may not be the most urgent, but if you know it's there from the start, you can build a plan to deal with it. Spending too much on housing. The next blunder to avoid on the path to millionairedom is overspending on housing. This can take a variety of forms. For example, you might be paying $2,000 for a 4-bedroom apartment when a 3-bedroom apartment for $1,600 would suffice. This is a difference of $4,800 each year. Many individuals buy more housing than they need, either because it's bigger than they need it to be, or because it's fancier than they need it to be, or because it's in a high-priced town or neighborhood. Taxes, insurance, upkeep, and repairs, not to mention mortgage payments, can all add up to more each year in such properties. When you overpay for accommodations, you end up living on the edge, less able to tolerate salary drops to unexpected large bills. In order to construct a secure retirement, you'll also have less money to invest in stocks, not wasting money on fees. It's one thing to spend $100 on a delicious meal at your favorite eatery. At the very least, you had a good time. It's one thing to lose 100 big ones due to overdraft fees or missing payments. Because they despise wasting money, rich people will rarely be caught paying their bills late, bouncing checks, or using a high-interest credit card. Automate, 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 automate. After all, we're only human, and we're gonna forget a payment or neglect a bill at some point. As a result, put measures in place to reduce the dangers of those unavoidable blunders. Set up auto-pay features for your important bills, such as your mortgage, car payment, insurance, and credit cards, because late fees may mount up quickly. Of course, this does not give you permission to coast. Rich folks read their financial statement and double-check them for errors on a regular basis. They are aware that if they notice inaccuracies on their bills, they can contact their provider and have them corrected as soon as possible, focusing on saving more, not earning more. Stop right there if you've chosen to cut back on your expenditures and your first instinct is to give up your daily Starbucks fix or unplug every electrical device in your house when you're not using it. Millionaires aren't in the business of squandering money, but they do understand the value of generating additional revenue as a means of achieving financial goals more quickly. Wealthy people recognize that while there is a limit to how much money you can save, there is no limit to how much money you can make. In other words, while cutting your expenses by $50 or even $100 a month can help your bottom line a little, bringing in thousands more from a raise will have a much bigger impact. If you're in a tight spot, make better use of your time by looking for new ways to make money. Examining your present wage is an easy place to start. If you haven't asked for a raise in a while and you know you're contributing to the company's success, set up a meeting with your supervisor to make your case for a raise. Is there another plan? Use the hour you would have spent looking for the cheapest dish detergent online to come up with strategies to supplement your income. The idea is to figure out what skills you have that can be of value to others, and then figure out how to charge for that value, whether it's through a side business, assisting a buddy with a project, or some other means of trading your value for someone else's money. Don't focus too much on past performances. When looking for investments for your portfolio, avoid becoming too enamored with stocks or mutual funds that have performed exceptionally well in the previous year. Looking in the rearview mirror isn't really useful in this situation. For example, Zoom Video Communications, NASDAQ ZM, recently saw a 425% increase in 2020. That's incredible, and while it's possible it will happen in 2021, it's unlikely. It's more likely that the stock has gotten ahead of itself and will retrace for a while, particularly once the pandemic has passed. It's preferable to seek out companies that appear to be undervalued, as they are more likely to rise in the future year or so. Similarly, a mutual fund that doubles in value in a year is unlikely to do so again. Such investments may pay off in the long run, but only after you've done your homework and are confident in their prospects for future growth. Never base your decisions just on one or two factors, such as prior success. Now that we've discussed a range of don't when you're a millionaire, let's now delve into those super important don't strategies and tips, like not overspending your money or carrying high interest rate debt, as well as why obsessing over prices is a don't strategy. Keep watching to find out these details about what not to do when you're a millionaire. Don't overspend. You probably imagine luxuries like a ski chateau in Chamonix or a closet full of Manelots when you think about the types of lifestyles the wealthy can afford. But contrary to popular belief, wealthy individuals are more down to earth than you might think. Have your eyes begun to glaze over as the significance of appropriate budgeting has been continually drummed into you? We understand. Despite their best efforts, some people still have trouble keeping track of their expenditures. Unfortunately, we can't grant you a pass to ignore this critical money task, but we do have a method method to make it a little more tolerable. Make budgeting fun by presenting yourself with a new task each week. See how little you can spend on groceries, or go a week without going to the store and inventing meals with what you already have. The idea is to figure out which method, or mind trick, you're most likely to stick with and then follow through with it. Carrying high interest rate debt. If you have high interest rate debt, such as a credit card debt, it's another clue that you're not ready to get serious about investing. Credit card debt often costs 16%, 20%, or even 25% or more every year, which implies that a $25,000 debt burden might cost you anywhere between $4,000 and $6,250 per year. Get out of debt before investing in the stock market, because if you don't, you'll be paying 20% a year while earning 10% a year, which will erode your net worth rather than increase it. If you're a millionaire, this isn't a smart error to make because it's money you haven't spent but are still being charged for. Obsessing over prices. Our best intentions can backfire. You buy a $50 pair of shoes instead of a high-quality $200 pair that will last longer. Alternatively, rather than investing in a new vehicle, you keep repairing your gas-guzzling Volvo station wagon from the 1990s. Rich individuals, on the other hand, know better. Wealthy folks recognize that the lowest option isn't necessarily the best. They can look at the big picture and see how what they pay now compares to what it's worth in the long run. Changing your mindset from get the lowest price to find the best value is one part of the solution. After that, do the math. Let's say a car shop offers a cheap rate of 0% interest for 3 years versus a higher rate for 5 years if you finance a vehicle. What is the overall cost of owning the automobile for the next 7 to 10 years if you plan on keeping it for that long? The smaller the monthly payments are when you finance anything over a long period of time, yet the more it costs over time. So, there's less suffering in the near term, but you'll have less money to save in the long run. So start paying attention to what you're doing when you're at your happiest and most alive, and invest your money in bringing more of those moments into your life. There you have it, a range of different mistakes you want to avoid when you're a millionaire or have a large amount of money behind you. Some of these I believe are obvious don'ts, whereas others are things people must train themselves not to do, like obsessing over prices and focusing on saving rather than earning more. Thanks for watching.